Have you ever felt smart, but not in the traditional way? You're not great at math, you don't like school, but you understand people quickly, or you write, create, or play music instinctively. If that's true, you're not wrong. You're just intelligent in your own way, because intelligence comes in many forms. For centuries, intelligence meant being good at math, remembering things, and getting high grades. But in 1983, psychologist Howard Gardner introduced a bold new idea. There's not just one type of intelligence. There are many. And each of us has a unique combination. Let's explore all 9 types of intelligence, explained in full. Logical, mathematical intelligence. This is the first type of intelligence society recognized, and the one most celebrated in schools. If you often ask why, or what's the pattern here, this might be your strongest intelligence. People with logical mathematical intelligence have sharp analytical minds. You enjoy solving problems, connecting dots, or creating hypotheses and testing them. Where others see meaningless data, you see patterns. Where others feel lost in equations, you treat it like a puzzle waiting to be unlocked. And here's the twist. Your logic isn't limited to academics. You might apply it to emotions, behaviors, even life's complexities, by questioning, reasoning, and systemizing everything. Scientists, programmers, engineers, financial analysts all rely on logical intelligence to keep the world running. Einstein wasn't just a physics genius. He questioned even the things everyone else accepted as obvious. But if you're not good at math, don't assume you lack this intelligence. Logical intelligence isn't just being good at math. It's the ability to see the structure behind everything. And in a chaotic world, that's a true superpower. Linguistic intelligence. Some people can write a sentence that stays with us for days. Others speak just a few words and shift the entire direction of our lives. That's the power of linguistic intelligence. The ability to use words as weapons, as tools, as art. If you love words, if you enjoy writing, storytelling, puns, if you believe the right sentence at the right time can heal, then this is the intelligence you carry. People with linguistic intelligence can write stories, poems, scripts, express their thoughts clearly, learn new languages quickly, sense the subtle tones behind every word. And they don't just speak. They use language to connect, to challenge, to touch others, without even laying a hand. If you were ever told you talk too much, know it's a potential. Linguistic intelligence isn't just for scoring high on writing tests. It's for creating words that breathe, that help people understand, believe, feel, and move. Musical intelligence. Some people don't just hear music. They feel it. Every note, every pause, every rhythm speaks directly to their soul. If you've ever cried because of a melody, if you tap your fingers to rhythms without thinking, if you remember tunes faster than spoken words, you may have musical intelligence. To you, music isn't just entertainment. It's a second language. It's where you hide and where you find yourself. Singers, composers, music producers, film scorers, music teachers, they all rely on musical intelligence. Mozart, who could compose full symphonies entirely in his head without touching a single key. Musical intelligence allows us to touch feelings that words cannot reach. And if you have it, the world needs you. Deeply. Bodily, kinesthetic intelligence. Have you ever felt you understand best? When you move, when you touch, when you do. Some people learn by doing, not by listening. Bodily, kinesthetic intelligence is the ability to use the body as a tool for thought. You don't just have a body, you express through it. You control your movements with fluidity and precision. Whether you're dancing, playing sports, performing surgery, climbing, or crafting, you think through your hands. To you, knowledge doesn't just live in your head. It lives in your muscles, reflexes, rhythm. You remember a move by repeating it until your body knows it without thinking. You might not do well sitting still in a classroom, but put You in a real-life situation, and you'll outperform everyone. Athletes, dancers, artisans, surgeons, stunt performers, chefs, all rely on bodily kinesthetic intelligence. In a world becoming more and more digital, kinesthetic intelligence reminds us, the body is where intelligence begins. Spatial intelligence. Have you ever seen things in your mind before they physically exist? You can imagine a house, a layout, a road, as if you've already been there. Spatial intelligence is the ability to think in images, colors, and 3D space. Those with this intelligence can memorize routes and maps easily, view things in 3D from any angle, design, construct, and arrange visual spaces, think visually and creatively. People with strong spatial intelligence are often architects, photographers, painters, interior designers, game designers, film directors. Leonardo da Vinci, who saw inside the human body and machines long before anyone else, using only imagination. You might not speak well, but you draw what you can't say. You may not take notes, but you remember where everything was after just one glance. In a world ruled by words, you are the one who thinks in pictures. Spatial intelligence is the bridge between imagination and the physical world. It helps us not just to see, but to rearrange how the world ought to be seen. Interpersonal intelligence. Have you ever felt like you don't just hear what people say? You sense what they don't say. You notice the shift in their eyes, the tone in their voice, the emotion hiding behind a smile. That's the mark of interpersonal intelligence, the ability to understand and connect with people on an emotional level. Not with logic, but with intuition. You know who's hurting, even when they smile. You can make someone open up after just a few minutes of conversation. You don't manipulate, you simply empathize. You know when to be silent, when to ask the right question, when a nod means more than a speech. You may not be great at math, art, or memorization, but you are great with people, and this world needs people-smart souls more than ever. Interpersonal intelligence doesn't help you win arguments. It helps you understand why others need to win, and turn that moment into shared truth through empathy. Intrapersonal intelligence. You don't talk much, not because you have nothing to say, but because you're busy listening to yourself. Intrapersonal intelligence is the ability to understand yourself, your emotions, your motives, your beliefs, your fears. You don't just live, you observe yourself living. You think before reacting. You stay silent when needed and speak only what matters. You don't follow the crowd. You move based on your own values. Those with strong intrapersonal intelligence often enjoy journaling, meditation, introspection. Reflect on their actions deeply after every experience. Live with direction and are not easily swayed by others. Philosophers, spiritual leaders, poets, writers, founders, people who walk their own path and know exactly why. Mahatma Gandhi, who led a revolution, not with weapons but with inner mastery. Intrapersonal intelligence makes you honest with yourself, even when no one is watching. And that is the foundation of all true growth. Naturalistic intelligence. When you walk into a forest, you don't just see trees. You see species, leaf patterns, bark textures, and the life breathing under damp soil. Some people don't need GPS to find their way, don't study biology, but know which plant heals, which one harms. Don't speak to animals, but still understand when they're sad or content. That's naturalistic intelligence. The ability to deeply connect with the natural world. Naturalistic intelligence teaches us to listen to the planet, to remember we are not separate from the earth. We are a thread in its vast web. Existential intelligence. You can't go through life without asking, who am I? Why do I exist? What happens after death? Does life have meaning, or do I have to create it myself? Existential intelligence is the ability to reflect on deep metaphysical questions. See life from a broader, universal perspective. Sense a connection between yourself, the universe, and something beyond definition. You may feel different, out of place, because you stay quiet when others are loud. You reflect when others distract themselves. But that's not loneliness. It's depth. Existential intelligence isn't graded. It's not measured by scores. But it helps you live without regret. Because you always know what's real and what's just passing.